You know, in the past, I've been on a lot of panels. One of the most interesting panels that I went on, it was a panel centered on single mothers. I'm dead serious. There's a YouTube page. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to give them negative publicity, but it is a YouTube page centered on women being single mothers and thriving as a single mother, whatever they consider thriving as. That's their standard. So I went on this panel and I told them, you know, we have a lot in common. And they were like, what do you mean? I said, I'm teaching men to be baby daddies. And they were like, what? I said, yes, I'm telling men right now, being a baby daddy is better than being a husband, and it is the future. Boy, they got mad at me. They got hot. I mean, boy, I got all kinds. They cursed me out, called me all kind of stuff. Now, as y'all know, I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo man. I have very thick skin. So it didn't bother me because I told the lady, I said, let me say this right now. I'm not offended by anything the woman said because she just went off. And I said, let me tell you something. I'm not offended by anything you said. Matter of fact, your response is expected. That's natural. I'm expecting that response. And I had to tell them, I've been kicked out of the manosphere. I went on manosphere panels and told them this. They didn't like me. I've been on religious, pseudo religious, you know what I'm talking about? The pseudo religious panels, orthodoxy. They didn't like when I said that. I've been on feminist panels. They definitely didn't like that. But what got me off guard with this one was I thought they would be more welcoming to that. I thought that they would be like, well, that's good that you're teaching men to be ready to be baby daddies. That's not the case. That was not the case. Those women were hot. It was three of them. They were hot. And I had to let them know. Let me make this clear. I'm not blaming women or men or any one gender for the situation. As y'all know, I wrote a book about dating and mating as a system. A system for what? Society. We have an unregulated system. There's no rules and regulations. There is none. I don't know why people don't understand that concept. And I had to tell them that. I said, I'm not blaming you guys or men. I'm telling you what we're doing is going to happen. They all got quiet. They got quiet. They said, okay, we thought we don't. And they said the truth. They were honest. They said, we usually don't let men up on this panel. We usually don't do that. And I said, that's fine. I couldn't really talk to them because I kept cutting in and out. They were using Restream. And just a word to people out there, I don't recommend Restream. That was the first time I ever used Restream. That was awful. I usually use StreamYard if I do talk to people on panels. Restream is awful. StreamYard, you could just get on StreamYard's no account and it'll let you talk. You see what I'm saying? As a guest. So StreamYards, in my opinion, is better. And if I ever start doing panels, which I'm probably not, but if I do one-on-ones with people, I'm going to use StreamYard. So I recommend StreamYard. Restream was awful. But I was trying to talk to them and they kept cutting me out. So they probably didn't hear all my conversations. So I had to be real fast. But I told them in a very short amount of time, I told them I'm not blaming y'all for the situation. I agree with y'all. Y'all are preparing women to be single mothers, right? And I'm preparing men to be single fathers. So both sides, I said, now she was trying to say, well, I don't have the same goal as you. I'm not telling women to be single mothers. I'm saying if they become a single mother, they don't have to, be in a destitute state. And I said, fair enough. I said, that's fair enough. You're not telling women to be single mothers, but you're teaching them how to be in a better state as a single mother. I said, okay, fair enough. And I told her, I am telling men to be baby daddies. I am telling them to be single fathers. And everybody got quiet. They said, you're serious. I say, absolutely. And the woman said, see, I told y'all there's men out there. And one woman got happy. I think she didn't get happy, but she was saying, she was trying to put me down, but she was saying, at least he's honest. At least he's telling you that men out there are doing this. We've been saying it. And I said, yes. I said, absolutely. There are a lot of men who are preparing to be single fathers. There are a lot of men who want to be single fathers. They want to be baby daddies. And I'm telling them how to prepare for that. because I told them being a baby daddy is better than being a husband. It is what it is, and that is the future. Being a husband now is a rotten deal. It doesn't work. And I don't know if they heard all that. I was trying to say it. I don't think they did. But essentially, that's the message that I'm saying on my channel. So if anybody's offended by it, or if you want to know clarity, you don't want to listen to me, it's going to be the same message until I die. Why? Because I don't see us putting in any rules and regulations. If we do, I want a seat at the table. I want a seat at the table. Absolutely. Because I want what? Prevention. See, if you want to prevent baby daddies, if you want to prevent single mothers from being created, you got to have rules and regulations. That's code. There's no way out of that. That is 100% code and logic. If you don't want the mess to be made, you got to put in rules and regulations to prevent it from happening. And I think, in my opinion, I think that's why they got offended by me. Because essentially, with me telling men to be ready to be a baby daddy instead of being a husband, and with me telling men that it's better to be a baby daddy than being a husband, that's telling them that he's teaching men to not be cleanup men.